South Asians have grown up singing the lyrics of one Pakistani band. Salman Ahmad is our UN Goodwill Ambassador. He's an unofficial ambassador for India-Pakistan ties long before that was even fashionable. Salman, thanks so much for coming on the show. You, of course, performed in India at some of the lowest points in ties between India and Pakistan. In fact, you faced a government inquiry back home for performing here. From that perspective, how do India-Pakistan talks look today?
Well, they say, that artists are always ahead of their time. And when we first came to India, it was 1998, I spoke about Pakistan and India having cultural fusion, not nuclear fusion. People misunderstood that. And both states tested nuclear weapons. And we were banned, accused of being traitors by Nawaz Sharif. But now, thankfully, both the states are coming around to what the people's true sentiments are.
We've had that tragedy in Siachen where Pakistani soldiers died in an avalanche. Many are calling it an unnecessary battlefield, really. Is that a cause you want to take up? In Pakistan, there's a huge debate about whether Siachen should in fact be demilitarized.
I'll tell you a story about Siachen. Junoon performed there, probably the highest altitude of any rock band to go to, right? And the soldiers, the Pakistani soldiers who live in igloos, basically see nothing for 6 or 7 months. They said, okay, somehow or the other, this ice should not be, we need to break the ice.
Right.
And I feel that we're in a stage right now, okay, both soldiers on both sides, Indian and Pakistani, can be put to much greater use than being 28,000 feet high up there.
I have to ask you, Salman, you're in fact talking about how the countries are coming closer. The counter-narrative is in fact that they're going further apart, that Pakistan is seeing a rise of extremism like never before. Many would say it's no longer even about Islam versus the West. It's become Pakistan versus the world in a sense. The world talking about terror groups that are based in Pakistan. But what do you think Pakistan needs to do about that image?
I think the world is looking at Pakistan through a keyhole, really this narrow perspective, and all they see is sort of the extremists. The war on terror had nothing to do with Pakistan. Those people who flew those planes into the building, none of them came from Pakistan. And this war in Afghanistan is almost like Groundhog's Day. When I was 17 years old, the Soviet Union was there. Now, America's been there for over 11 years, spending trillions every day. So all of the fallout of that war on terror has come into Pakistan. Pakistan is part of the world, is part of a solution to all of this, to security in the region.
You've always been political from the start. I mean, some would say even provocative. When you wrote that book and called it Rock and Roll Jihad, what really drives you to be so political?
I fear that extremists are hijacking language. Jihad is a word, basically, when I was growing up in Pakistan, jihad was a word to do good, overcome your ego, struggle, financially do well in life. But because of 9/11, jihad has now become a word for planes flying into buildings. So I wanted to tell a story about a Pakistani, post 9/11, an artist, what he has to deal with in the world. I feel that if we're not provocative, if artists are not provocative, then who's going to push the envelope?
All right, and you've become also truly political in the sense that we see you now at Imran Khan's Jalsas. You're certainly backing him, but do you think someone like Imran Khan, who essentially doesn't come from a party organization, has a chance in Pakistan?
Pakistanis all across the spectrum are looking for somebody who's not from the political culture of Pakistan, where it's business as usual. Well, how do you think Obama got into power? It was Oprah Winfrey, it was Denzel Washington, it was U2, it was will.i.am, making songs, because I think you, me, everyone, citizens, it's a democratic right to have a strong opinion on who should be leading, the nation. And I think Imran Khan is the only viable choice for Pakistan.
Even so, he is seen by many as someone who has also made compromises for this popularity, reaching out to the religious right, coming on stage with Defy Pakistan. In India, worries because he had representatives on the stage with the Jamaat Dawa as well, which is so clearly anti-India. That doesn't worry you?
He is a strong believer in a strong South Asia, free from control of Western powers. He's an independent thinker. He's nobody's robot. He is a centrist leader which is bringing together the right, the center, and the left.
All right, so you clearly believe that. So now you were first band. Junoon was the first band to play in the United Nations General Assembly. But really, what seemed more impossible was when you were able to perform in Srinagar in 2008. And I'm going to quote from your book, Rock and Roll Jihad, where you talked about the United Jihad Council had put out an order against you. There were security guards everywhere, and you end your book by saying, that night, guitars won over the guns. Tell me a bit about that. Tell me about what you think is the solution for Kashmir. Do you think it's going to come?
Once I announced that Junoon is going to perform there, then all hell broke loose. Death threats, which has been a part of my sort of career, you know. But when we went there, Suhasini, it was the most incredible moment of peace. Edge of the Dal Lake, we're playing Khudi, Kokar Buland, Sayyuni, Allahu, and the entire audience was singing along with us. And for that moment, I realized that this is a glimpse of what Kashmir can be. India and Pakistan have to understand that young people want change.
And as someone who's been an icon for long enough, you know change when you see it. Salman Ahmad, thanks so much for joining us. That's all we have time for, but we're going to leave you with Salman Ahmad at his best on the guitar. You have a song for India and Pakistan, you said.
Always a pleasure to speak with you, Suhasini. And because we're talking about change, Allama Iqbal said, ज़माने के अंदाज बदले गए, नया राग है, साज बदले गए, खिरत को गुलामी से आजाद कर, जवानों को पीरों का उस्ताद। ज़माने के अंदाज बदले गए, नया राग है, साज बदले गए, जवानों को पीरों का उस्ताद कर, ज़माने के अंदाज बदले गए, नया राग है, साज बदले गए।